Hi, it's Kathy from Savory Pixels, and it's summer. Look at those beautiful strawberries, locally grown. Look at all that beautiful rhubarb. Guess what I'm making today? A strawberry rhubarb pie. One of the first fruit pies of summer as far as I'm concerned, and it's not that hard to do. Start by washing and hulling 2.5 cups of strawberries and cut them into large pieces. And then wash, peel, and chop 2.5 cups of fresh rhubarb. Make sure there are no rhubarb leaves. You never eat the rhubarb leaves, they are poison. This is fresh rhubarb. If you've never cooked with it before, it's pretty easy to do. Wash it, trim it, and again, make sure all the leaves are removed, and then you peel it. Peeling, it's really simple. You literally just stick a knife under the edge of the peel at the top and pull. And then cut it into bites. Alternately, a carrot peeler works as well to get the skin off. 2.5 cups chopped strawberries and chopped rhubarb. Add the following: a tablespoon of cornstarch, a half teaspoon of cinnamon sugar, a half teaspoon of lemon peel, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a half teaspoon of a vanilla extract, and my secret ingredient, which we'll talk about. A great flavor booster in strawberry rhubarb pie is homemade strawberry jam. I always make a few jars every year, and I replace half the sugar with it. I'm going to put in about a half a cup of homemade strawberry jam. You could just as easily use a good store-bought jam and adjust the amount of strawberry jam to your taste. I cut the sugar proportionately. I find a half cup works for me. Here's the strawberry rhubarb pie filling all ready to go. Today we're going to make homemade pie crust. Pie crust is so simple to make. I don't know what people stress about. So I'm going to give you my favorite recipe. And you start with 2 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, sifted with 1 teaspoon of regular salt. Then add 2/3 of a cup of solid shortening to the flour and salt mixture. You can use solid shortening like a Crisco, or if you have it and like it, lard is delicious. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use a tool that looks like this. It's called a pastry cutter. A pastry cutter takes the solid shortening or lard that you use and cuts it into small pieces. Cutting shortening into the flour works kind of like this. You just push the shortening through the blades of the pastry cutter and keep scraping it down. It shouldn't take you too long to get the shortening mixed in. What you want is the shortening cut into small balls that are a consistent size, incorporating the flour together. This is another one of the secrets of good pie crust, is making sure that you make the shortening into very small, fine balls so that it is evenly distributed together and mixed together. That is one of the things that makes for a very light, delicate pie crust. To finish up, the combination of flour and shortening that you've created, add ice cold water, the other secret. Start with about 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup and then mix until all the flour is incorporated. Depending on the weather and a variety of other factors, you can go as high as 6 tablespoons of ice water to make. This is the pie crust all done and ready to go. You see how it holds together in a ball? And that's how you know it's done. To get ready to roll it out, wrap it in plastic wrap and set it in your refrigerator for at least a couple hours or overnight. Rolling out pie crust, it's not that hard. The real trick with working with pie crust is making sure it starts cold and don't handle it that much. When you handle it, whatever shortening you use, which is lard, shortening, whatever, butter, will melt. And when it melts into the flour is when pie crust becomes tough. So touch it as little as possible and roll out from the middle to the edges. Pie crust rolled out and placed in a 9-inch glass pie pan or pie filling in the pie. Here's the top. I'm going to show you a really easy way to get the top of the pie on the bottom. Very often, pie crust gets torn. Easiest thing to do, use a really thin plastic spatula so you lift all the edges and be able to fold them over each other into quarters so you can place it on top of the pie. I'll show you. Using the spatula, first fold the pie crust in half. After the pie top is folded in half, take a knife and cut a few slits in the middle of it. Besides being decorative, these are vents and they allow steam to escape while your pie is cooking. Placing the spatula under the edge of the pie crust to loosen it, now fold it into quarters. The top pie crust on the pie in quarters and then unfold the opposite of the way you folded it. Halfway done, pie crust top unrolled, placed on the pie and ready to close. Pie is all sealed and ready to go. To finish, I'll brush it with a little bit of milk and sprinkle some sugar on it. Ready for the oven.